No, it's not.
Well, welcome live. This is
We're living live.
Livin Live. You want to spell it? Livin.
Apostrophe.
Got what
Yeah, you're supposed to put an apostrophe.
before the in?
No, after the IN.
Okay, Livin Live.
Yeah,
You came up with that
of course, because we're doing it live everywhere.
everywhere. So thank you for catching us on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, and Twitter Live, which is Periscope, which goes out on Twitter, and you can watch it on there too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Periscope is.
Well, it's Twitter. It's a Twitter feed.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a Twitter feed. So, um,
I
well,
just
we're
got
kind of a
lost.
day late because we'd like to do this on Wednesday, but that's okay.
I had to work. It's my
Oh.
fault.
I thought this is pleasure.
Yes.
Well, Monday on Bridges,
Uh-huh.
and we're live every Monday on the BBM Global Network on Channel 200, 8 p.m. We had the Bear Mountain Bridge,
Uh-huh.
but something came up,
What?
fear, and I got I got a lot of feedback off of
Fear?
fear,
We
and
had a whole thing.
we had a thing,
Yeah.
but you can check the video.
Yeah. If you want to see the whole thing.
So
I think it's fixed.
no, I turned it down. That's fine.
Yeah, but if it wasn't fixed, then the green wouldn't be going up and down. It would still be
It
going
was
up.
we were getting the pinging off the phone, so I turned the phone this monitor down. So yeah.
That makes sense.
So here's what I want to. And when you can you see that?
Yeah.
And I wanted to
Who will cry for the little boy?
write. It is a
By Antoine Fisher.
and that's not the whole thing. I'm trying to get the whole thing. Where is the whole thing? Here's what I want to start out with. I think and the reason why I was thinking of this poem is Who Would Cry for the Little Boy by Antoine Fisher. It was Antoine Fisher's story with Denzel Washington.
Uh-huh.
And the short of the story is he had a broken home, broken life, broken situation,
Broken everything.
and broken everything, and he was very angry.
Uh-huh.
And in that, and being angry, because he joins the Navy and all this other stuff, it's a great story. It's an older story, but him joining the Navy and him trying to find his way about who he is, it made me think of the whole fear thing. And
Because he's not fearful.
no, he's very afraid of his life.
Oh.
He has a lot of fear of what his life is going to be, how it's going to turn out, who's going to love him. And that's why this is so important, because I was thinking of myself and when growing up with a single mom
Uh-huh.
and not you sometimes I don't want to say do the forgiveness thing. We've talked about this before, but I think everyone does the best they can with what they have and what they do, right?
Uh-huh.
So leave it at that. But I too had this feeling growing up, who loves me? It didn't matter who did love me and who was loving me.
Who else loves you?
No, I had that question. Who loves me? See, as a child, you don't look at your parental guidance or the guidance that's giving you or that's in your household or whatever the situation is, whether it be the foster home, whether it be any home, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still asking yourself, who loves me?
Okay.
Even if it's from the kids, right? Who loves me? You know, does my mom love me? Does my dad love me? Am I being loved? And it doesn't matter what the parent could say. Like, of course I love my child. Of course, because they're not getting the of course. They'll have that question.
Mm-hmm.
So when
Is it the emotion they're looking for?
we don't know, as I know from my own personal view, I don't remember exactly why I would ask that question, except that I was searching, right? So I think until we find that answer, not the answer that someone gives us, to the answer we accept and have. I think that fear stays inside of us. That's why I think breakups are bad. That's why I think separation, it gets so bad or traumatic. Because if they're leaving, if they're leaving, not around, not near me, who do I have then?
Your family.
Yeah, but what if you don't have that family? What if you?
You mean physically near you?
Physically, emotionally. What if you're in a fucked up family?
Who isn't?
Right, but if you're in a fucked up family and you're saying, well, I don't want these idiots to love me because that love is wrong. Because some people say, I beat you because I love you.
Oh no.
Wait, right?
Okay,
You
I
see,
see what you mean.
that's what I mean. I mean, so the husband or whoever is abusive, mentally abusive, right? Physically abusive. Abuse is abuse is abuse. And if they're describing it as I do this because I love you, well, now you have this
twisted love.
You know now as an educated person that it's twisted love, or could someone actually tell you when you're in it that it's twisted love? Because the people I've talked to never can tell the difference.
No. I think everyone knows before it happens to them that it's twisted love. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely not.
No. Because love is blind.
Yes.
Everyone knows that love is not when someone is hitting you. Love is not when someone is verbally abusive to you. Everybody knows what being verbally abused is.
Okay.
Everybody knows what bullying is, right?
Okay, then why, then, go ahead.
You're not letting me finish. So, everybody knows bullying is not love, right?
Right.
So, if we are in a relationship with our significant other, and they are doing exactly what a bully would do,
yes,
you don't see it as bullying. Why? Because love is blind.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Now, someone can try and tell you, hey, listen, that does not sound right. Or, the way he just grabbed you does not look right. No, he doesn't do that all the time.
See? Yeah.
I think it was just, because it was quick, or he doesn't mean it, he's joking, They'll tell themselves this because they think they're in love. They think that is love because they are forgetting what they know. Because love is blind.
But those actions are like stains in the mind and the body.
Okay, but they're not thinking about that.
Yes.
It's not like right here, like, oh my God, what just happened? It'll do it like the first time it happens, maybe, and then the person you'll bring it up like, hey, I did not like how that just happened, and then they'll be like, oh my God, I didn't mean it. It was an accident,
Well, because you said this on Bridges on Monday that when you get to the age of 8. And things are very well established to the age of 0 to 8.
Things are starting to get cemented. Yeah.
Right. So if you're shown these, lack of a better word, unhealthy actions, traumatic actions that happens to you,
like are happening in your household.
right?
Okay.
Even in your I was gonna say your environment, because the environment is something you associate with,
right?
Whether it be the household, whether it be the neighborhood, whether it be
your school, whatever.
It's an environment. If you get these twisted views that are starting to
make sense to you and not be what they are.
Correct.
Okay.
Then why would you have to change it at 20 or 50 plus? If something doesn't happen to you traumatically and say, this isn't healthy. So ultimately, you have to do this search of like, this isn't good.
Yeah, but not everybody hits that like, oh my God.
Okay, so, but what keeps them there is that fear also.
Do they
If you
have
don't hit
fear?
that, oh my God, this isn't good for me, is that what keeps in their fear also?
But do they know it's not good for them?
No. So
So how can they be fearful of something they don't know?
because that and this is great. So when I say emotional science education, you have to do your own internal probe.
Search.
You do. You have to say, does this feel good to me? Why do I feel this way when he or she says this to me? Is it because I'm internalizing it?
Mm-hmm.
Am I perceiving it wrong? Is it my own illusions?
Mm-hmm.
So we get so trapped in the trap that we don't ask. I think we have a great relationship. Honey, you're the best. And we try to have all this romanticness and all that stuff, but you're not having it. Do you think it's my fault? Do you think it's something that you're going through?
It's a personal feeling.
See what I mean?
It's a personal problem.
But how would you like if we were to, had this dating thing? Would you tell me? Like, would you just?
It has to be said.
That's
why it has to be said, because it's affecting your relationship.
But it doesn't affect me. I think it's hunky dory and roses.
Yeah, but what you think isn't what's happening.
To you.
You know? Exactly.
Right.
So it has to be said because it's eventually, or it is affecting your relationship. And it's not a one person, like you can, when you're single and anything, when you're by yourself, but when you have a friendship, a significant other.
Oh, because all things are relationships,
yes,
right?
You have to express it like, hey, like you think that I really enjoy this, but I really don't. You think that when you hug me, I love it, but I don't like when you touch me at all.
Right.
I would actually prefer if you just kept yourself at a little bit of a distance,
Okay, we kind of talked about this off air. What happens if a relationship, and most women have pain during sex, and they have never told their mates?
Yeah. That's why most rapes are through marriage and relationships.
So how do they get strong enough to find that I can...
That voice?
Yes, that voice.
It's that I can't take it anymore, I guess. I can't speak for them.
No, I mean...
I think the only way we would know is if we asked somebody
Someone
who experienced it.
And if some of you people have that happen to you out there, you can always email us. You can go to Dr. Paul W. Dyer at gmail.com. Email us your comments about if this has happened to you, if you listen to it, or just inboxes on Facebook or the Instagram, and then say, Twitter, and then say this has happened to me, or I know this has happened to me, because I think,
or I know someone who's experienced it.
Right. Because when we talked about fear on Monday, I think you're right. We know there's a science to fear. We know there's an education to fear. But I think this is the ultimate thing we were talking about even today, is that how do you know you're afraid? How do you know you're living in fear or acting in fear, because it's creating this anxiety of can I, should I, will I, or do I? In all these questions. And I say it's trust.
I don't necessarily think it's always trust, because you can trust. I know I have a problem trusting the world, okay?
Yeah.
But, I don't have a problem trusting my significant other, but I do want certain things said. I need information. I love information. I love to know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, you said this.
I love information. I need to know what's going to happen next. And, not everybody gives me all this information. So I need to ask 1,000 questions. But he says I need to trust the process. I can't trust any process if I don't know what's going to happen in this process.
By the way, I had to watch Game of Thrones.
Did you? Wait. Did you watch the first episode?
No, I just watched a couple.
You are ridiculous. See, he's not trusting anything.
Wait a minute, but I had.
No. No, because who starts in the middle of something?
I just want to see. Like I've watched some of it. You know, I've watched like almost like 5 seasons.
If you watched 5 seasons, you watched all of it, because I'm pretty sure there's only 5 seasons.
No, I don't know. But I was watching some. I had to like really. I had to power through this binge thing.
Okay.
To really get the whole family, and then what I was watching was the fear.
Okay. Oh, the girl who has to marry that little blonde guy,
Yes.
who's just terrible.
Terrible.
I forgot his name. I
But-
haven't actually watched Game of Thrones in a little bit, so.
But getting back to it, fear. People use fear to push away
Uh-huh.
and to draw people in.
Yeah.
I mean, I think some people may say in our social present day non-political action now, people think it's fear-based.
Uh-huh. I mean, it's easier to push somebody away than draw somebody in, I feel like.
That's just you.
That's just me. I feel like it's easy for me to be like, listen, I'm going to go hang out with myself for a few days. You know what I'm saying?
I am afraid that people don't do internal searches.
Okay, but you can't change that.
No, but we're affected by it, all of us.
Uh-huh. Because we're all in a relationship.
Correct. And if we're all in a relationship, and so if we're struggling in a relationship,
Uh-huh.
well, use your relationship.
Why my relationship?
You if you didn't want to be with O'Dane
Uh-huh.
for some reason,
Right.
could you struggle not telling him?
No, I think we have a very verbal relationship when it comes to certain things
Right.
like that. That was one of the things that, like, we promised each other. Like, if
That
we
be
ever
open, right?
feel a certain way about anything, like, we start to lose love for one another, we're going to tell each other. Like, we can't just leave that out, because if we leave it out, then what are we doing here?
Right, right.
Why are we wasting time together? You know?
So, and we've talked again. I think we talked about this before about the ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? You know, there are people out there that we say family strong,
Mm-hmm.
and they got us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a hard thing for people to fully understand if they don't have anyone.
Yeah. That's very true.
And if they always had to fight by themselves. Like, there's a lot of independent women out there,
Uh-huh.
right, that said, if I don't do this, who will for me?
Right.
And
Go them.
right, go them until they meet someone that they have to share that with.
Oh, then it gets hard. Very complicated.
Yeah, but then it because if you're not on the same process,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes like you're not working hard enough.
What do you mean?
Okay, so you know the power to the women is like if I don't what is some of the songs if I pay my own bills, I do my own job, I pay my own way, right?
Yeah.
I got this.
Uh-huh.
Well, hey baby.
Oh, let me pay this for you.
Yeah, or
let me fill your car up with gas, and then it's like, wait, no, now I can never let him take my car because he's gonna fill it up with gas, and I don't want him to do that.
Or what if I take your car, don't put gas in it? Then you're like, well, why am I paying for everything? Right? Because you're like, you're not doing.
You can't do that. You can't contradict yourself.
Well, so you gotta trust. Did you see the eyes? Did you see the eyes? Did you see her eyes? It went. If you.
But I don't think that's because. Let's say he takes my car, right? He doesn't put gas in it. I'm okay with that.
What I guess my point is, if people don't feel like the other partner's on the same wavelength as you,
Uh-huh.
does that mean that that person doesn't love you?
No.
Okay, but
Remember we spoke about this. Different levels of love. You can't compare somebody's out. We can't compare.
But what if you get
each
tired
other's
of it?
love.
What if you get tired of it?
Then you gotta say it. Be like, excuse me, but
Yeah.
I would greatly appreciate it
If
if
you-
you took my car, and if you ever use my car, why can't you put some gas in it? I know I told you I would like to put gas in my own car, but sometimes it's nice when you just, you see it's close to empty, and you take it. Why is it coming back with 25 miles left? You know what I'm saying?
I gotta tell you, I love having you for a lot of reasons. As a co-host, daughter, friend, family, it's quite emotional for me
Why?
because I had to trust the process. I did.
Okay.
I had to trust the life process. If I didn't, speaking on fear, if I was afraid to not trust the process,
Uh-huh.
I don't think I would be
Mhm.
here on this earth.
Mhm.
I don't think I would have made it.
Because.
I just think I would have tried to take my own life like most people do in suicide.
Because they don't trust.
Because they don't trust. And fear becomes so overwhelming
Mhm.
that the anxiety becomes so on top of you that it's hard to reach out and says, we got this. You're going to be okay. And I know all you kids is helping, so that's been a blessing. So if we're going to do this, I think you have to trust. I think you have to practice an internal ask questions, because it'll just become too much. For me, it did.
I think I trust enough.
You probably do.
I do. I trust enough that I'm okay.
Okay, so we had a question. This is, well, the reason why I brought this here, and
Okay.
because fear is such a strong emotion,
Right.
I wanted to bring this because this helps clear that.
The fear.
Yeah, it's a healing tone. It's a heart tone that actually works in the heart. So I just wanted to, because this talk is so heavy for a lot. It's a heavy talk. So
We're breaking the heavy.
mhm. So I just wanted to break that heaviness feeling that people have, and let that chime right in.
Literally.
Yeah. Anything else? We keep this short. Living life. Quick talk. Nice talk. Thank you for joining us here on Living Live.
Live everywhere.
Yeah. So catch us on Monday, 8 p.m.
On BBM Global Network.
Yep, and we're also live Facebook. So
Channel 200.
yes. So you got to
Facebook
click.
and Instagram.
Yeah. So if you don't want to listen to the radio, you can also listen to us on Facebook or in Instagram, either Hope's Instagram or my Instagram. So
Or his Facebook.
or my Facebook. So thank you so much, and you guys have a blessed day.
Good day. I'm used to saying good evening or good morning at random times.